And good evening, high school football fans. Welcome to the second Prep Sports Report Pigskin Preview. I'm the coach, Carl Demasi. I'm glad to be back with you for your Thursday night breakdown and preview of this week's local high school football schedule. A lot of teams on the road, but I'm still looking forward to tomorrow night's games. It's time to talk high school football in the Savannah area, and it's a packed show. Once again, I'll have three guests breaking down their programs and previewing what's coming up next. We'll talk about who they are in a moment, but let's look at last week's schedule for Friday night, September 2nd, and outstanding performances. Richmond Hill 38, Jenkins 10. Quarterback Ty Goldrig for the Wildcats, 7 of 14 passes, 118 yards, and 3 touchdowns. South Effingham beats Islands 24-0. New Hampstead beats Bradwell 28-10. Paulie Sealy, the quarterback, throws for 196 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a win. Benedictine 28, Westminster 0. Nigeria Samuel, a sophomore, touched the ball twice, goes 80 yards and a touchdown. Calvary Day School over Eagles Landing Christian, 28-21. Dupa Coleman, Calvary's sophomore, scored on a kickoff return of 84 yards and also connected with Noah Gillum on a trick play for a 60-yard touchdown. Groves 28, Savannah High 0. First win in 4 years for the Rebels. Brian Wells, the senior quarterback, 2 touchdowns via the air and 1 on the ground. Johnson 24, wins of Flint Forest, 0. Aquinas 19, Savannah Country Day 13. Brooks Klein, Peter, and KG James caught touchdown passes for Country Day sophomore quarterback Branton Mixon in a losing cause. John Paul II, 46, St. Andrews 25, played on Saturday in Hardyville. The Edward brothers had a big game. Zaire Edwards, the wide receiver, 6 catches, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 40 yards rushing. Zayden Edwards, the quarterback, was 10 of 18 passing for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns and ran for 45 yards. Bethesda 35, Thomas Sumter 0. Running back Corey Stafford racks up 167 yards, 3 touchdowns in their win. Sophomores rushed for over 480 yards this season. Effingham County 31, Statesboro 10. Nate Hayes, junior quarterback for the Rebels, throws for 266 yards, 3 touchdowns, ran for another. Keon Wallace, the highly recruited senior wide receiver, had 8 catches for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brantley County 17 beat 6. Bryan County 40, Wheeler County 14. Austin Clemens, the junior running back, ran for 173 yards, 3 scores, 15 carries, 7 tackles on the defense, a sack, returned a fumble for a touchdown in Bryan County's win. Okay, now here's tomorrow's schedules and Saturday's schedules. Week 3, all games start at 7:30. Southeast Bullock at Effingham County. Bradwell at South Effingham. Windsor Forest at Islands. Brantley County at Johnson. John Paul II at Memorial Day School at Memorial Stadium. Okay, teams on the road. Benedictine to Ware County. New Hempstead to South Lake, Florida. Calvary Day School at Frederica Academy. Groves at Claxton. Savannah Christian is home against Battery Creek. Savannah High at Butler. St. Andrews at Hilton Prep. Bethesda at Carolina Academy. And on Saturday, Richmond Hill goes to Florida to take on Baker County. And tonight's show will feature the head coaches from New Hempstead, Kyle Hockman, Savannah Christian, Baker Woodward, and Bryan County head coach Sherrod Freeman. Up first, the man out at New Hampstead High School, Kyle Hockman, talking about his 3-0 Phoenix. And we got another Friday night coming up here, big time here in Savannah, Georgia. But this next team is going to take their game to Florida. From what I understand, it's Groveland, Florida. Coach Kyle Hockman and the Phoenix will be heading down south on 95, then across the 4 to play outside Orlando, Florida. But they're off to a 3-0 start. The New Hampstead Phoenix. Coach Hockman's there now 5 years. Program's consistently winning, one of the better programs in the area. So we're going to give the coach, we're going to put him on a hot seat, talk about last week's game, talk about this week's game. And it's always a lot of fun to talk to the man himself, Kyle Hockman. What's up, Coach? How's it going?
Great. How are you doing, Coach? Thanks for having me.
Hey, try to keep up the tradition of PJ Zuko and the high school first look. So it's on the internet now. So want to get these kids a little more exposure, a little more love. But, of course, all the football programs. So that's what it's all about. And you and I have been doing this for a long time. And, there's not enough exposure we can get for these kids. So, hey, 3-0 start. So at your expectations or a little sooner than it was supposed to be. But did you expect this?
Like I had thought all along, we have some good talent, very young, only 4 returning starters. But they've been working really hard. And to be honest, a couple of the teams probably were down just a little bit from where they were last year or so that we played. But we were very excited. The kids are working extremely hard, and obviously it's much easier to correct. There goes the bells. Much easier to correct after the victories, and the competition is going to step up here in the future. We got a pretty tough region and some non-region games coming that are going to be very challenging.
Well, we don't hear about many teams taking the act to the road. You're going into your 4th week. You're traveling down to outside Orlando to take on, what's the team again?
South Lake High School.
South Lake High School in, did I get the town right? Groveland, Florida?
Yeah, Groveland, yep. Groveland, Florida, a little bit west of Orlando.
So before you break them down, why the trip to Florida?
I just wanted to get out and experience, I want these kids to get the experience traveling 4.5 hours away. Last year we went to Cairo to play a playoff game in LaGrange the year before that. So kind of just having that idea to move and to get out and know what it's about to take a long bus trip and how to handle that, to be ready in case we have that in the playoffs. And then obviously the Florida idea, a lot of people will put Florida and Georgia against each other, and as they look at college players and pro players and things along those lines. So having the opportunity, we reached out to several schools in Jacksonville and in the Panhandle and then down into Gainesville and Orlando and South Lake was available, and our schedules just happened to match up right. So it worked out really well. And they're going to come up here next year. So excited for that.
Well, off to a 3-0 start again, just like last year. And, of course, the man behind the center, man in shotgun formation, senior year, I can't believe how quick it's gone when he stepped in as a sophomore way back when. But Paulie Seeley off to a great start. Talk about the players so far that have been standing out for the Phoenix.
Yeah, Paulie's doing a great job, and he's coming off 2 surgeries this past offseason.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know, in the middle of the season last year, he broke his thumb on his throwing hand and kept playing. Just a tough kid. We didn't even know it, and he didn't tell anybody until after the season. Then he had a Jones fracture in his foot right after spring practice and had to put a pin in his foot, but has recovered well and doing great, probably about 100% just in the last 10 days or so, where he's felt like he's throwing it like he wants to and things along those lines. But he's gotten off to a great start and just a senior leader, the guy that makes it all go. And help these other young guys grow, and he's makes those guys around him better, and especially the offensive line and the receivers, and just helping, just little things on the sideline, calming people down, and then obviously making a throw when he's got to make the throw, changing the protection, helping the running back out. Hey, you're lined up wrong, move over here. Those kinds of things, just really special in that way, and just really excited. And he committed to Wofford, a couple months ago, and so it's a great opportunity for him. And he's just right where you want to be, a 4.0 student, leader in the community and in the school, just outstanding. And what he's been able to do is to spread it around. We have Zion Griffin as our leading returning receiver. He missed a game with a banged up shoulder, but he's back and ready to go this week. But he's our kind of go-to guy, and had I think it was 9 targets and 5 catches last week. And the first week of the season, similar stats. And then Jalen Hampton is a young guy that's really stepped up and had several touchdowns and broken some screens and caught a couple over the middle. And then Malachi Lunnan, 2 rising juniors this year, and he's the deep ball guy and has caught three long touchdown passes. And then we got a young freshman tight end, Nate Pearson, that is remind me a little. We call him Baby Gronk, but 6'6", 240 freshman, that just one of those guys that can catch anything and body position and blocking, but getting better and better blocking every week as a freshman. But I'm excited about that. And then offensive line, we had 2 returning starters. Both were sophomores last year, Zach Pearson and Alex Coles, center Alex, and Zach at tackle. So we've, breaking in 3 other new ones, and they're young, all juniors and 1 sophomore. So, it's just, and they've done a really good job keeping their poise. And Coach Tank Bonai, our offensive line coach, his dad's been a longtime coach over in South Carolina. And Tank has done an outstanding job with those guys. So really excited for those guys on the offensive side of the ball.
All right. Well, we're coming down to the, after this week, I know nothing about Southland. I know they're off to an 0-2 start. South Lake in Groveland, Florida. But I mean, the gauntlet begins, Coach. So let's wrap this up. I mean, you go Richmond Hill, Benedictine, Southeast Bullock, Wayne, Islands, and Burke. So the gauntlet begins. So what are you looking forward to the rest of the schedule now?
We just really want to take one day and 1 week at a time and make sure we're just getting better. That's the key. And then we'll take each game as it comes. And obviously, as you mentioned, there's 4 or 5 great programs that have been historical for a long time. And, we're going to just hope to hang in there in the second half and see if we can't pull something out. We'll be underdogs in 4 or 5 of those games, and that's fine. We can play that role. And we've went over to Richmond Hill a couple years ago and beat them when they were really good. So we're just looking for challenges and to get better. And that's, play. You got to play the best to be the best. So for sure, obviously, Benedictine and Burke County's been really good for a long time. Wayne has been really good. And they got a new coach. Was it Jabo Shaw's just a great coach. And he and I have studied together for a long time and I know he runs a lot of stuff we're doing and we run a lot of stuff he's doing. So that'll be a fun challenge, but they've been strong and so it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be a gauntlet, but that's why we work all year round for. We're lifting and running all year and all summer, and so we got to stay healthy. That's a big key. But our defense is running well and getting after the passer. So I think we got a chance, but we got to stay healthy and get these young guys more experience.
All right, last question. 3 things the Phoenix have to do. 3 key points the Phoenix have to do to win this Friday night.
This week, they're a really good defense down there. They run really well, just like you would expect any Florida team. Offensively, they struggled a little bit. They've changed. But so we got to handle their blitz and their speed on their defense. And then offensively, or our defense against their offense, we have to create some turnovers, give us some short fields, and have a really good opportunity against this really good defense. And our kicking game's got to be sound, and we've done a great job. Some young kickers have come through, some young guys playing, a lot of young guys on special teams. So we're excited about that. We want to see them perform after a good long trip. Got to be able to get off the bus and, not be groggy. We're going to stop a couple different times. We stop at Camden County, do a little walkthrough, and then we're going to stop at University of Florida Stadium and have a little tour there and eat dinner. And so we got to learn how to handle that stuff. So that's obvious for sure. And hopefully it won't lightning and storm on us, and we'll be in good shape.
Coach, once again, always a pleasure. Love watching what your team does every year, and love watching that kid play some quarterback for you. So keep up the great work, and appreciate it, and we'll be talking the rest of the season.
You bet. Thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Coach, you're on the road. Good luck.
Thank you.
Once again, the man's got a lot of experience, knows what he's doing, came from Atlanta, wanted to be in this area, got the New Hampstead Phoenix job, and they've been consistent winners every year since they've been here. Last year, tough loss in the first round, 33-31 in the playoffs against a very good K-Row team. So you can bet the Phoenix are rising, and they've been rising, and they'll rise to the occasion this week down in Groveland, Florida against South Lake High School. Stay tuned. Another coach coming up right after this. And it's the second Prep Sports Report high school pigskin preview of the season. Trying to keep up with my young friend, PJ Zuko, who used to do it on Thursday nights. Now I'm going to try and pick it up and get this across, get the information out to you, because I know the coaches love it, the kids love it, the parents love it. And next guest, his team is coming off a 2-0 start, bye week. They get to play home this Friday night because they were supposed to go play at Battery Creek, of course, across the bridge over there in South Carolina. The field was not ready, so they're going to get to play at home here Friday night, but doing a great job in his 5th season as the head man at Savannah Christian, Baker Woodward. What's up, Coach? How's it going?
Coach Demasi, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's always a pleasure getting you on, and you've got a lot of success going over there now. You guys are on a roll, and Is this what you expected after 2 weeks? And of course, bye week always breaks it up. But is this where you wanted to be at after 2 weeks into the 2022 season?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2-0 is a great start, and I think it all started from spring training. You know, we did a solid 2 weeks of spring training, and then had a scrimmage game against Windsor Forest. So we just kind of kept the momentum rolling there. You know, the previous year we did 2 scrimmages as opposed to spring training, and so it's been tough to actually have a spring training here with so many spring sports and being a small school. But I think we've definitely benefited from spring training and summer workouts this season.
Nice. And, yeah, you know, Zoe Smalls, only a sophomore, off the charts, 255 yards, only on 11 carries, leading the way on the offensive side for the Raiders. And, you know, your defense is always tough with Busey and the whole crew over there. So talk about your players. And after the first 2 weeks, is this your leadership for the whole season, or you got other guys that are going to be stepping up?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely got to just brag on Zoe for a little while. You know, in today's age, you know, it's like instant gratification. You know what I mean? All kids want to be an instant starter. They want to come in and contribute immediately. And, you know, Zoe last year was not the starter, and he just he didn't pout about it. He came back and went to work, had a great off season, and we're seeing a lot of the work that he put in the offseason pay off here in our first few games. But it's not just Zoe, it's those big guys up front, led by 3 seniors on the offensive line. And Cole Burnstead, Jep Hudspeth, and Jackson Mercer on that offensive line, just making waves. And then, of course, we've got a really, I think he's a really dynamic slot guy named Kenry Wall. He does a little bit of everything for us: kick return, punt return, all that stuff. He's a good player. And, you know, on the defensive side of the ball, we're led right now. I feel like he's just been a really good leader. He's a senior named Austin Saylor. Austin Saylor is our middle linebacker, and he's just really led not only in the weight room in the offseason, but also he leads vocally at practice, and that's a big help.
Yeah, you got to have those vocal guys out there on the field and doing what they got to do. All right, so you know, you're coming off a bye week. How was the practice? How was the atmosphere? 2 weeks. You're finally going to get back in the saddle this week, and you're playing home against Barrier Creek. Tell us what it's been like for 2 weeks for the Raiders.
Well, I tell you, you know, I love my job. I love coaching at Savannah Christian, but you know, I have a problem with the things that I can't control, and you know, it's just, I mean, it just wrecks me. You know, we've had a bye week where, you know, we had a possibility of getting 5 practices in. How many we get in? Hardly any. With weather, with the wet bulb, with the rules that you have with GHSA, it was very hard. But we did get some work in, whether it be inside work, whether it be in the weight room, whether it be film work. So I think our guys really took the bye week serious. But at the same time, we were able to kind of heal up some of our wounds and just kind of have a little refreshing break. But we're back at it this week. And, of course, the one day yesterday that we had no rain, we were under the wet bulb. So, you know, it's you know, you want to work and they want to work. And it's been really good because our kids are not like, their kids are like, oh, coach, come on, man, let's go practice in this heat, you know. But I was like, we've got to abide by the rules. And so we've really just had a great job of leadership by our seniors. I already mentioned Austin Saylor, but Matthew Gunn, who's our punter, and you know, last year he was just kind of handling punting for us, some defensive back, but this year he's our starting corner, and he's been in the right spots. And Jaden Hester, another senior that has been leading and doing a good job. And then we have a big, and everybody talks about Elijah Griffin. Obviously, Elijah Griffin's a special player. He's a great player, great young man. But we do have a senior on that defensive line named Akeem Lane, who's he's been playing for us for 4 years, and he's just at 6 foot, 305 pounds, and he's a big presence on the inside on the defensive line. So those seniors that we have there, along with this sophomore Jaden Miles at linebacker, I can't say enough about our defense. Our defense has made up some really good players and a really good coaching staff, and they just led our team, and very, very proud of them. And I'm hoping they keep shutting people out, man. It makes my job easier calling plays, man. I just, you know, if I don't like it, you know, I just, man, let's play safe, you know. So, but anyway.
Yeah. It's been good, and you're on a good run, and now you come you're going you were going to go across the river to play Battery Creek. Now they got to come to you that their field is not ready, their stadium's not ready, so you get to play home. So what are the three keys for the Raiders to come home with a victory Friday night, or rather to stay home and get a victory Friday night?
Yeah, absolutely. It always, for us, we've got to take care of the football and cut down on penalties. With a offense that runs motion pretty much every single play like we do, we want to cut down on those offensive penalties, and we want to be able to hold on to the football. We always talk about Raiders don't beat Raiders, and we made a big emphasis this year of ball security and tackling. And I feel like if we don't beat ourselves, we hold on the football, we're able to sustain our blocks, which has always been a problem for us sometimes, especially trying to go no huddle, get a lot of reps in practice. Sometimes we don't sustain those blocks as long as we should. And so we got to be able to tackle. We've made a big emphasis since spring on tackling, and Coach Walsh is our defensive coordinator. He puts a big stress on it, and Coach Brooking, our linebacker coach, he does a great job. What a better guy to teach tackling than one of the leading tacklers of all time. And he does a great job with teaching our kids to close space and gather and do everything it takes to play football. And then, last but not least, is what our goal is this year. We want the people that when they see Savannah Christian play, that they play hard, they play together as a close-knit family. And if people can't see that we're a family, then, that's on us. And we got to make sure that people can see that in the way we play.
Well, Coach, always, let's see if I'm still not unfrozen, but you can hear my voice. So once again, keep up the great work. We'll be catching up throughout the season, but I appreciate you taking the time coming on. And as you like to say over there, as always, it's a great day to be a Raider.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great day to be a Raider. And Coach DeMasi, just thanks for continuing and covering high school sports. We really appreciate it.
Well, you got to love it. Watching young guy, well, you're considered an older guy now. Watching you play as a high school football player and watching what you do on the sidelines, it's pretty impressive. You're doing a great job over there, Baker.
Well, I appreciate it. Hopefully we can keep it up.
You got it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
And that's what I mean. I mean, you watch these young guys grow. Quarterback, he was, a tenacious football player, got himself his degree, goes over to BC, big part of their offensive turnaround over there. Then, of course, you know what? Being an old head coach, if I didn't have assistant coaches that aspired to be a head coach, there was something wrong. And this man's learned out of a lot of good coaches, and he's taking it over there on Chatham Parkway at Savannah Christian. Friday night, home against Battery Creek. Next up, one more guy to go. They're having a phenomenal season. Stay tuned. You'll find out who it is. And welcome back to the Prep Sports Report High School Pigskin Preview. Third guest of the night. Team's having a phenomenal year off to a 2-1 start. Big win last week. They got a bye this week. They're all excited over there in Pembroke, Georgia for the Bryan County High School Redskins. Sherrod Freeman, the head coach, third year coming in, has done a great job. The program's starting to turn the corner. And I'm telling you right now, this is my surprise team, or one of my surprise teams of the year. So joining me now on the hot seat, the Coach's Corner hot seat, of course, that's Coach Sherrod Freeman from Bryan County High School. What's up, Coach?
Thank you, Carl. How you doing today?
Hey, it's been a busy day, but, I'm trying to get, as much news as I can get out there about kids and schools that are having an unbelievable season. Congratulations, Coach. You're off to a 2-1 start.
Yep, we're playing good football right now. The guys are starting to gel defensively. Coach Adams doing a great job defensively with our defensive team. Coach Roberts doing a great job with our offensive game plan. Our defensive line coaches and our offensive line coach are really doing a good job with them. I mean, we just playing good football, and right now the guys are just sticking together and working hard.
Well, off to a 2-1 start, and something that has got everybody excited over there at Bryan County Middle Senior High School, whatever you guys are calling it now. So after 3 games, did you expect this outcome?
Well, I didn't. I'm not gonna say we didn't expect it. I was looking forward to the season, just because of the type of summer that we had, going up to Lincolnton and playing in Lincoln County and coming out that game. When I left that field that night, I was like, hey, guys, we got a pretty good football team here that we just got to keep them together and don't hope. We don't need injuries to hit us right now, but I said we got a good football team. So ever since then, we just been pushing them. They just been fighting, and they just want to compete now.
Well, they're competing, and like you said, you guys are doing outstanding. I'll remember his name, Coach. Give me a second. Don't throw it out there yet. Let me get to my notes here. The running back, Antoine
Austin.
Okay, take two. I know, Coach, you're off to a great start. And, I mean, your running back, which I think you did miss for a game, Aston Clemens, is off to an unbelievable start. The kid's running all over the place. So talk about your kids. Give your kids some love out there that, have been – and, of course, if he's running for that many yards, you got to give credit for the big guys in the trenches too.
Oh, our big guys are making holes. Our offensive line is playing great football right now. I mean, yeah, Austin Clemens, we call him Smush. He's playing good football. He ran for like 183 yards the other night. He had 15 carries. But, it really comes for the offensive line. Our offensive line is playing great football. Coach Coburn really has those guys playing great football. And Smush will tell you to this day, our offensive line is really, really playing good football right now. Really playing good football.
Well, defense is in there too. I mean, Lincoln County, one of the perennial powerhouses. You shut out Trutland. You lose a heartbreaker. So tell us about the defense. I mean, plus your quarterback, Trevor Lanier.
Trevor.
The kid goes both ways. He plays linebacker for you too, doesn't he?
That's Sean Kelly. That's our second string quarterback. Sean Kelly played both ways. Trevor, he's just a quarterback. He's throwing the ball well. But our defense, I mean, Coach Adams really got them playing great defense right now. We're hustling to the football. I mean, but we lining up correctly now. A couple years ago, the thing would be we come in on Sunday, you just hear him going out. We just not lining up right, Now it's half of the battle. We lining up right, and then we get into the football. So the defense is playing real well. We're playing fast. It's like we're understanding the scheme right now. They know what we want. They've been trying to do it for 2 years. Now, I think the first couple of years we're just kind of young and weren't as strong as we were now. We always been athletic. We just weren't as strong as we were. But we had a great offseason this summer that's leading to the way we're playing right now.
Well, you got your bye week. You got 3 non-region games coming up. And then you open up with the region perennial team that everybody looks up to, Meta. So you got Portal after a bye week. You had Telfair County. You got Montgomery County. And then you get into your region schedule. So tell us how you guys are handling this bye week. And I know as a coach, I hated bye weeks. There's things I dislike the most, homecoming and bye weeks, because it just disrupts the continuity that you got going.
It disrupts the flow. You're right. But all we can do is just work on ourselves. Defense, we just working on things that we need to get better at. Offense, we just working on things that we need to get better at. We're not really focusing on Portal this week. It's all about Bryan County. We need to tighten up some things in the special team area. We're working on us this week. No, not scouting. We're not putting in no game plan. We're working on Bryan County, trying to get Bryan County better this week. And we'll start working on Portal this weekend. But right now we're working on Bryan County.
Isn't that a big rival, though, between Bryan County and Portal?
It's a big rival. I think it's going to be a big game just because of the fact that we're playing good football, and then Portal's coming in at 3-0. So I think it's going to be a good game. We're only like 35, 40 minutes away. I think we have a decent crowd. So it's going to be a good game. Me and the head coach at Portal, we've been texting each other every week. I might text him on Saturday, "Hey, coach, slow your roll, man. You 2-0." And he sent me a text message that said, "Hey, coach, slow your roll a little bit." So we good friends, and I'm friends with all the people up there in Portal. So it's going to be a good game.
All right. Well, this is your 3rd season. Can you see the difference in the hallways that the team is on this roll now? Can you feel a change in the culture over there as far as the football program goes?
Well, it's all the way around. It's the culture all the way around. That was one of the things that we really had to change when we got here was the culture. We had to get the kids to thinking that, when you take the field or when you take the basketball court or when you take the baseball field, you got the opportunity to win, So it's not just like it's not the same Bryan County. The kids walking with the shoulders high. The principals and everybody, all the teachers excited about it. We just trying to change the whole culture. And that's been the process. I mean, it's a process. It takes time. You notice our baseball team played well last year. Our basketball team made the playoffs last year. And now this year we the first sport to come in. So we hoping that it just transfer on over to the football team, but our guys are doing a great job being leaders at the school. That's what I focus on. I want them to understand that it's education first, be the leader in the classroom, be the leader in the hallway, and everything else take care of itself. We always, if you hear Smush in an interview the other week, I can't remember who was interviewing, but he said, let's take care of the small things. We got to take care of the small things. And that's what we kind of harp on, taking care of the small things.
Yeah, you take care of the small things. You don't make many mistakes, and that team usually wins. So you got them rocking and rolling over there, and they're doing a great job. So bye week, you're working on yourself, but going into the portal game, what are 3 things that the Redskins have to improve on, or what are the 3 key points that the Redskins have to do to win that game against Portal, and it's in Bryan County?
Number 1, we got to work on special team. We got to get better from Friday night. We had some hiccups in the special team. That's one thing we got to work on. We got to get better. We got some kids that's banged up a little bit. Number 2, we got to get the injuries together. We got some kids that really banged up. We got a cornerback that's down with a high sprain. We got another cornerback out with deep thigh bruise. So we got to get those guys healthy. And then we got to execute. The main thing this week, we're just trying to execute what we want to do, offense and defense, and help it carry on to the game next week in Porter. So the 3 things I would say: we got to get healthy, we got to execute, we got to get better on special team. The most important, we got to get better on special team.
Well, I can tell you, Coach, way down here in Savannah, Georgia, people are noticing that, there are 2 schools in Bryan County now, not just Richmond Hill High School. They're also talking about the Redskins up there at Bryan County High School. So keep up the great work. And I know I'll talk to you again during the season. But once again, people are watching, Coach. Keep it rolling.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Coach, I'm in there. He's changing the culture. The kids are getting in the weight room. Everybody you talk to, Tim Adams, head coach at Jenkins, former head coach at Jenkins, comes in. He's running the defense. I mean, it's just a great atmosphere up there. And, what more can I say? I mean, the Redskins are the Redskins. I mean, they're bringing back people to come in the stands, and people are excited about it. But like Coach was saying, as I heard him say, there are some kids banged up. So this bye week comes in perfect, because from here on out, the next 7 games, the Redskins aren't going to get any rest. So let's see what Coach Sherrod does with Coach Sherrod Freeman does with the Bryan County High School Redskins. All right, that's the 3rd coach. Be back to wrap this baby up. You're listening to the Prep Sports Report High School Pigskin Preview for Week 3. Well, sports fans, high school football fans, put that show in the books. And here is Friday night, September 9th, and Saturday, September 10th, football schedule one more time. Week 3, kickoff 7:30 unless noted. Friday night, Southeast Bullock at Effingham County, Bradwell at South Effingham, Windsor Forest at Islands Stadium, Brantley County at Johnson, Savannah High, John Paul II on Memorial Day at Memorial Stadium. Queens on the road, Benedictine at Ware County, New Hampshire at South Lake, Florida, Calvary at Frederica, Groves at Claxton, Savannah Christian at Battle Creek, Savannah High at Butler, St. Andrews at Hilton and Prep, Bethesda at Carolina Academy. Saturday, Richmond Hill goes down to Baker County in Florida. Once again, kickoff at 7:30. I have to thank my guests for finding the time to come on. New Hampshire head coach Kyle Hockman, Savannah Christian head coach Baker Woodward, and Bryan County head coach Gerard Freeman. Go out there and support your team. But most of all, let's support our local kids, because that's what it's all about. Enjoy the games. Be safe. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And until I talk to you next Thursday, remember, this has been the Prep Sports Report High School Pigskin Preview number 2. Talk to you later. Have fun.